Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our Skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful.
Let us solve today's DC using Python programming language. The program must accept n integers and it must print the ranges of the integers which are missing among n integers. If there is no missing integer from 1, then the program must print -1. The program must accept n integers, the ranges of the integers which are missing among n integers, it must print. If there is no missing integer, then the program must print -1. Now let's check for our test case. In this test case, the missing numbers from 1 to 12 are 3 and 4 here in this gap. So 3 to 4, and in this gap 7 to 11 is missing. So 7 to 11. Hence this will be our output. Let's check for our second test case. In this test case, the missing number between 1 to 7 is 4. So 4 to 4 will be our output. Now let's check for our third test case. In this test case, there is no any missing integer. So -1 will be printed as our output. So let us see the logic for solving this problem. First, we have to initialize a variable called start range, which is equal to 1, because the integer starts with the integer 1 to numbers. So let us declare another variable called current CUR, which is equal to the given input integers. It starts from 1. Because the integer starts from 1, so current is equal to 1. Current and start range. If current minus start range is not equal to 0 means that integer is missing. So let us solve. 1 minus 1 0, so the start range will be incremented current plus 1, which is 2, and the current becomes a 2 here, so 2 minus 2 0, 0, so the start range becomes current plus 1, which is nothing but 3, and the current integer becomes 5. So 5 minus 3, which is equal to 2, which is not equal to 0. So start range will be printed. So print start range to current minus 1. And now start range will be incremented. So 3 to 4 will be printed. Then start range will be incremented, that is current start range of current plus 1. So 6 it will become, and the current is equal to 6. So 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. Now current becomes 7 and this becomes 12. 12 minus 7, which is 7 here. 7 minus 7 to 11 will be printed because it is the missing integers. So this will be our required output. Now let us check for our second test case. In this test case, the start range starts from 1 and the current starts from 1. Now 1 minus 1 0. Now the start range becomes 2 and the current plus 1, which is nothing but 2, and the current becomes 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0, and now the start range becomes 3 and the current becomes 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. So the current becomes, start range becomes 4, and the current becomes 5. So 5 minus 4, which is not equal to 0. So 4 will be printed. 4 to cur minus 1, that is 4. 4 to 4 will be printed, and after printing the start range becomes 6, current becomes 6. So 6 minus 6 is 0. Next the start range becomes 7 and the current also becomes 7. So 7 minus 7, 0. Hence 4 to 4 will be our required output. Now let us implement our logic using Python 3. We must get the input n from the user, integer n from the user, and we must also get the input of n integers. Now let us assign start range to 1. 1 is assigned to start range, and let us run a for loop for iterating num. For num in num list, instead of current we are using num here. So for num in num list, then we have to check whether if num minus start range is not equal to 0 means we must print the missing pair. Print start range of minus num minus 1. This is the missing pair. Next, you have to increment the start range, which is equal to num plus 1. Now let us declare a variable called hash range to false. If there is a missing integer means, then we must change hash range to true. If hash range equal to false means, then you have to print -1.